Hey everyone, I'm John Swantek. Welcome to Direct Connect presented by United, where you guys, the fans, get to ask the questions and connect directly with PGA Tour players. It's a Ryder Cup week, so we're going to connect with a Champions Tour player this week. Fred Funk joins us from TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, where he will be competing on the Web.com Tour in a few weeks at the Winn-Dixie Jacksonville Open. Fred, that's going to be fun. Will school be in session with all those young kids that week?
Yeah, but they'll be out, and then the Funks Punks will be out in force, especially if I make the cut and make it on the weekend, and it'll be fun for them to come on out and give them a reason to come out again, because I haven't been into players since my exemption ran out, so you know, they don't get out that much anymore to rally around me, so it'll be fun.
Looking forward to it. Let's get into our questions. First one through Facebook comes from Jack Petty. Says, Fred, you've won 8 times on the PGA Tour, 7 on the Champions Tour. Would you consider the 2005 Players Championship your signature victory?
Yeah, I would. That was a big one. I mean, it's the strongest field, and you know, it's my home course now. I moved here in '92, so this is my home. Players is considered a 5th major. I think it is a major in my mind. I wish it was, but that definitely was a big one. The U.S. Senior Open was another big one to get my name on a USGA trophy, but I got to say the Players was by far my biggest one.
To Twitter for our next question for Fred Funk, at Jack Dobbin is who it comes from. Fred, you've been a fan favorite for a long time. What do you attribute that to?
You know, I think it's more of the everyday guy type thing. You know, I came up from being a golf coach and you know, kind of a unusual background to come out after 8 years of coaching and then come out on the tour. I'm a little guy. I don't hit it very far, so everybody can kind of relate to that. I still was very competitive out there and ended up turning it into a really good career. But I think more just being the kind of the everyday guy that can't really overpower a golf course, but still had a lot of success out there on the tour. And you know, I like the people. You know, I like interacting.
Fred's commitment to giving back, certainly part of the fans' appreciation for him. Here's a question from Kelly Stone through the Tour Report. Fred, you have one of the biggest hearts on the PGA Tour. I'm touched by the generosity and love you continue to give the Townsend family. Can you update us on JT? Now, Fred, tell the folks about your relationship with JT Townsend, who suffered a spinal cord injury during a high school football game in Jacksonville back in 2004.
Well, JT was somebody I read about in the paper, and I was on the road when I heard about it. I came back off the road. It happened to be the summer of when I really met him for the first time. Was the summer right after I won the Players Championship, and I went and met him at his house, and actually it was his aunt's house. We struck up a great dialogue and a great friendship, and I just felt like I had to do something for him. I wanted to get him an opportunity, or try to give him an opportunity to have as normal a life as he could, and we decided we needed to get him a house because he was in a you know, pretty rundown house with no air conditioning. In the summer, that room was 92 degrees that particular day in July, and we went on a mission, and we had a golf tournament for him. We raised a lot of money for him. PGA Tour rallied around him. We got him a lot. We built him a house. We ended up getting him a house that's wheelchair, you know, it's handicap accessible for everything, all his needs basically. And with that being said, he's finished high school on time. Went to University of North Florida. He's still taking his studies there. Unbelievable outlook on life. Just a great inspiration. So JT's doing great. His family's doing great, and stay in touch with him all the time. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being.
Yeah, and Fred has been instrumental in strengthening the formation of the JT Townsend Foundation as well. Here's another one that comes from someone in the same demographic as 56-year-old Fred Funk. Here we go. It's from Russ Cornell through the Tour Report. Says, I'm 61 years old. I just had knee replacement, and I play a lot of golf. I'm a 7 handicap. How long did you have to lay off, Fred, playing when you had your knee replacement back in 2009?
I played 13 weeks later, right after I got my knee replaced in November. It was pretty quick. I pushed it really hard. I was hitting balls at 4 weeks, hitting full shots at 6 weeks, and just kept working at it.
Next question for Fred Funk, former University of Maryland golf coach, 1982 to 1988, comes through Twitter from @Fear the Turtle. There you go. Says, my buddy has invited me to visit him and play the Maryland home course. is it a nice track? Thought you would know.
Oh yeah, I grew up at Maryland in College Park, and I grew up on that golf course since I was 11 years old, and it's always been a great layout. It's it's starting to get in really good consistent shape, although I just did a fundraiser last week there for the University of Maryland golf team, and the greens, the summer heat kind of took its toll. It'll probably take them probably a month or so to get back, but a great layout, really worth the time to go there once they get their greens back.
All right, good track to play if you're traveling to College Park, Maryland area. One final question for Fred, tied for 22nd at the Pacific Links Championship in Hawaii in his last Champions Tour start. Through the tour report from Paul Crawford, he says, were you thinking of your first PGA Tour victory in 1992 when you won in Houston earlier this year? That's a good question, Fred. How about that Insperity Championship 20 years after your PGA Tour breakthrough?
Well, that's been a magical place for me. I've gone through Q schools there, got out on tour through the Woodlands tournament, or the Woodlands golf course in Houston. I stayed with the family since my rookie year in '89. They're the godparents of my kids. I met my wife there at Houston 20 years ago. This year we have our 20th year after that. We're on the same golf course, but it's the Champions Tour instead of the regular tour, and I won again. And it was just a magical place. I really love that golf course, and it stood the test of time, and all the guys love it. But for me, it holds a lot of special memories and a lot of heartfelt feelings there, a lot of emotions there.
Next stop for Fred Funk on his schedule, the SAS Championship in Raleigh, North Carolina, next week on the Champions Tour. Then in a few weeks on the Web.com Tour at the Winn-Dixie Jacksonville Open, right there in his hometown of Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Fred, appreciate the time. Play well. Thanks for connecting with us this week.
You got it. It was fun. Thanks.
Direct Connect is brought to you by United, who is proud to be the official airline of the PGA Tour.